and welcome to our podcast. My name is Christy Ingram, and I'm going to be talking to my friend, Miss Alexis Scott, today. She is our newest strategic partnership with the company called SIB. Welcome, Alexis.
Thank you.
We're so glad you're here today. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks so much for having us.
So everyone, Alexis is currently an account manager with SIB. She's responsible for client onboarding, maintaining relationships, presenting savings-based AP analysis, and then additionally, Alexis is a genius with helping customers develop processes to improve their experience. She's been with SIB since 2015. She's worked in all various facets of the business there with SIB, and she has the unique perspective of the full life cycle of the customer experience. Alexis is no stranger to hospitality. We do have a hospitality alum here with us today. She was a GSA for a Wyndham Grand property, and she also had the esteemed pleasure of being a concierge at a Vail property. So Alexis graduated from the College of Charleston. She has her Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration and Management. And I learned last night she did a semester at sea last night, which was phenomenal to learn about. So Google that if you don't know what it is. So, Alexis, would you be so kind as to tell me about SIB and how they help our customers?
Absolutely, I would love to, and thank you so much for the introduction. So SIB, we are a consulting firm that looks to help clients reduce their recurring expenses. And we do that in a number of different ways. We're offering a historical audit for every category that we're looking at. We're looking for service level optimization or ways to adjust their service levels to achieve a savings and make sure that they're paying for services that they actually need. But really where the bulk of the savings comes from is negotiating the rates for the incumbent services with the vendors that they already have. And the best part about our service is that there are no upfront expenses for us to do this review. We simply share in a piece of the savings if we're successful, and if we come back to a client with no savings, there's absolutely no fee due to us.
Where was this when I was a hotelier? This would have saved me time, money, frustration. What a phenomenal service you guys offer to customers. So I know on the M3 side, basically it's a phone call to me and we get a user ID set up. I know the magic happens on your side. So tell me how the implementation process goes on your side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to talk a little bit about the service that we do offer for M3 customers.
Okay.
So for a typical client to sign up with SIB, they come to us, they tell us they need help with their expenses with these vendors. We'll collect an invoice on their side, and a lot of them are using paper invoices or electronic invoices, but they're not stored properly. So a lot of the heavy lifting comes from that initial onboarding piece, and we're not pinpointing the exact areas where we think we're going to find success early on. But for M3 customers, we are able to run a preliminary savings analysis. This is no obligations. This is prior to executing any sort of agreement or letter of agency or anything like that. It's simply looking at the data that M3 houses, and we can come back to them and show them where we think the low-hanging fruit is and what vendors we suggest starting with in terms of scope. So it makes everyone's life a lot easier, and then once someone decides they'd want to engage after they've seen this preliminary savings report, we can then go into M3 with read-only access and pull those invoices so it takes that piece off of our client's plate.
That's awesome. So really the only permissions they would need is just that read-only to AP, because that's just where you guys kind of live in your side of the world.
That's exactly right. We are simply just pulling the invoices we need to do our review, but we're not going to go in and mess with anything they've got set up. We just want to pull those invoices down.
Awesome. So on average, what kind of savings are they looking at?
So, it really varies by category, location size, geographical area. But on average, we tend to find 20% if we're looking at a full scope of categories. So, everything from telecom, waste removal, even propane, that's a huge category where we're going to find a lot of savings, and a lot of people wouldn't expect that. But overall, we tend to find about 20%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I know that, our partnership is new, but certainly you guys are not new to the hospitality space. Kind of give me some background on how many hotels you guys have onboarded, all that good stuff. Throw some stats at me.
Absolutely. So yes, I've been with the company for quite some time, so I've seen us grow, but it's hospitality is a space where we do have a heavy footprint. So we've got about 130 hotel clients, so it's also, management groups as well as ownership groups. We look at everything from select service to full resorts, and we've got about 2,000 locations. So we've
Wow.
got quite a stats there for in terms of hotel clients. But some of the bigger brands that we work with, or bigger names, are Summit, LaSalle, Host, Hyatt, Atrium Hospitality. So again, brands and names that people will recognize, so that when we do come to them and tell them about our service, we want to make them feel comfortable that we do have some experience working with these groups.
That's awesome. Well, I can just tell you, as a former hotelier, and then we talked a little bit about this at dinner last night, we had to do this ourselves as a GM on property, and it was not anything I was good at. This is y'all's niche. This is what you guys do, and you are very, very successful with it. And we're just thankful you guys are a part of the M3 bubble, and you're able to help our customers, because certainly saving money any way our customers can is just going to benefit everybody. So thank you all for being such a great partner with us.
Yes, we love our partnership, and we're really excited to see where this goes.
Awesome. What are some fears that you've heard from our customers whenever we first talk to them? What kind of feedback are you getting as to hesitation as why they might not do this?
So there's a couple of things we hear kind of at the beginning, getting people comfortable with the review process and how our process works. And probably the number one thing we hear is, I have a GPO or a buying group
Sure.
that I'm a part of, and you probably won't be able to go in and do anything for us. And it's true, we probably won't be able to go in and negotiate any of those rates as part of the group purchasing contract that they may be under, but we can always go back and do a historical analysis and look for any sort of incorrect billing or service level discrepancies that could create a cost savings, even though they are enjoying the pricing that's secured by the buying group.
Sure. Just make sure that those prices that were agreed upon are in fact what they're being charged.
That's exactly
Perfect. Perfect. I know we just launched, but we have had some early wins, some great successes. What kind of feedback are you getting from those customers who are excited about the program? Can you share some of those sentiments with me?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think so far we've reviewed about 350 million in your client spend.
Wow.
And show them where we can find those early successes, the early wins, and really show them what kind of help that we can provide in being a service provider that's partnered with M3. And again, making this as easy as we can on your guys' clients, it really generates a lot of excitement that they're not going to be spending time pulling the invoices, getting us that data we need. It's all housed within your platform. So we're able to pull that down for them and then do our analysis. And we've already got a few clients signed up, so we're really excited.
No, and I know that's wonderful, because in addition to the savings that you guys offer with no upfront costs, and you only get paid if they save money, and the hospitality industry, they're really hurting right now. They just don't have an extra second in their day to review this, and you guys are keeping an eye on that and making sure that everything stays in line and that they're getting the best pricing and saving them money. So that's wonderful, and what a help to our beloved industry.
Definitely.
So, I know we've had a couple of customers who feel that this may be something they could do themselves. What would you say to that?
What we do really isn't rocket science. There's a lot of, different pieces of how we do our process that can be done internally. However, it's extremely time consuming. It is very heavy lift on the team that you are already relying so much on. They're already having to do their job plus probably a few other jobs, like you just mentioned, with the hospitality industry hurting and staff shortages and all of that. So really having someone like SIB come in to take that off their plate can just alleviate that fear that I might not be finding the best rates out there because I don't have that data, and it's kind of at the bottom of my priority list, so you're not rushing to get it done in any way. But when you have an ally like SIB, we're going to do that, and we're going to get it done in 60 to 90 days. So you can start realizing those savings as soon as we can get them implemented.
And stay engaged to ensure that it doesn't come back, in a month or so.
Absolutely.
So it's not just that initial win. You're going to stay engaged and make sure that those savings continue.
Right. As part of our validations process, we do make sure that the rates stay in place going forward. So yes, if someone wanted to do this process internally and they were successfully able to get those new rates in place, they could jump up in a month or two, and someone in AP might not notice a 2% increase on
Sure.
a bill. They're going to see that bill close enough, let's process it. So what we do is we monitor and make sure even those tiny incremental increases to the bills are being fixed as we go forward.
And you guys take it upon yourself to make those phone calls and get those credits and everything taken care of for our customers.
Exactly. So we're doing this all behind the scenes, and then they get a report each month that we've found these billing errors and we've corrected them on your behalf. You should see the credits, continue paying your bills as normal.
Perfect. So, Alexis, someone comes to me and they say, I hear you've got this new partnership. Can you tell me about it? And what would you say to that question?
Yes, so I'd say let's take the first step. So they've shown interest in running this preliminary savings analysis, and it is so easy for them to move forward with this piece. So they tell you, Christy, that I would like SIB to run the preliminary savings analysis. You are able to pull that report and get it over to us, and then we come back within a week. It's really that fast. We have multiple operations people working on reviewing that data to find the low-hanging fruit, to find those vendors where we're going to have an early win. We come back to you with a full report that shows here are the 6 vendors we are proposing to target for this initial analysis. We can always add in more vendors. If someone says, hey, I noticed that Joe's waste hauling isn't included, but I've had some, suspicions that I might have been overcharged, we'll include that in the scope as well. But once that scope's determined, then we move forward with the actual analysis. But that initial piece is precursory. We do not have any sort of obligation in place. There's no engagement letter that needs to be signed. It's simply, show me my preliminary savings report.
Well, Alexis, it has been an immense pleasure having you here today. Thank you so much for coming all the way down here to little old Lawrenceville, Georgia, from Charleston to chat with us and promote this wonderful partnership. And thank you so much. Super appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining our podcast. Alexis and I look forward to working with you and saving you money very soon.